Good morning everyone and welcome to my channel English Literature. We have already finished all the aspects regarding Chaucer. Part by part we have discussed the different aspects regarding Chaucer's age and literary flourishment. In this video I just accumulated some information regarding the Canterbury Tales and other aspects of Chaucer. We'll look at it and it is the last video on Chaucer. After that, we'll read about the age after Chaucer. So there are total 24 tales are completed in the Canterbury Tales. Number 2. There are total 858 lines in the prologue and they are written in heroic couplets. Number 3. The source of the Canterbury Tales is Decameron by Boccaccio. Number 4. The Canterbury Tales is written in iambic pentameter or heroic couplet. Number 5. The first version of the Canterbury Tales was published from William Caxton's 1476 edition. There is some controversy regarding this year. Somewhat it is written as 1478. Chaucer joined the Hundred Years' War in 1338. Number 7. Two tales, the tale of Meliboeus or Melibea and the tale of Sir Topos, are told by Chaucer himself. Chaucer refers to the peasants' revolt in Nan's Priest's Tale in a humorous way. Two tales are here in prose, the tale of Meliboeus and the Parson's Tale. Number 10. The Canterbury Tales captures the time of 1386 to 1395 England. Number 11. Tower Inn, the name of the inn where the pilgrims joined or gathered, it is the Tower Inn. The month, what is the month? The month was April. And where they used to go, it is a shrine of Sir Thomas a Becket at Canterbury in Kent. Number 12. Matthew Arnold says Chaucer lacks high seriousness of the great classics. But G.K. Chesterton found that high seriousness in Chaucer's The Tale of Sir Topaz. So keep these names in your, put down these names in your brain that Matthew Arnold says what and G.K. Chesterton says what. Matthew Arnold said Chaucer lacks high seriousness. But G.K. Chesterton found that high seriousness in Chaucer's The Tale of Sir Topaz. Number 13. The Canterbury Tales begins with the Knight's Tale and ends with Parson's Tale. It is a prose treatise. Number 14. Chaucer's lifespan 1340 to 1400 covers three kings. We have already read about that. Edward III in details, Richard II and Henry IV. Number 15. His patron was John of Gaunt, the uncle of Richard II. Number 16. He was the first poet to be buried in Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. So it is very important to keep in mind that he was the first poet to be buried in Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. Later, various famous writers and poets were buried there. Chaucer was called the father of English poetry by Dryden. You have to keep in mind that these critics said what about Chaucer and their name, the name of the critics and also their quotes. So these things you have to note down, name of the critics and their quotes regarding Chaucer. You can divide this in this way. Chaucer was called the grandfather of English novel by G.K. Chesterton. Chaucer used East Midland dialect. You have to keep in mind, this is very important, which dialect became prominent in Chaucer's hand. It is East Midland dialect. Number 20. He found English a dialect and left it a language. Who told that? Lois. 21. The oil of English undefiled. Spencer said this about Chaucer. The oil of English undefiled is said by Spencer about Chaucer. 22. With him is born our real poetry. It is also told by Spencer. 23. Here is God's plenty. Dryden said. In which context? In the context of all the character that Chaucer portrayed in the Canterbury Tales. In that context, Dryden said this, that here is God's plenty. 24. The first of our national poets. It is told by Hudson. 25. He was known as the morning star of Renaissance. And who was the morning star of Reformation? Wycliffe. 26. John Wycliffe is called the morning star of Reformation. 27. John Wycliffe was the first translator of the Bible in English. 28. His literary achievements were divided into three phases: French period, Italian period, and English period. 29. Amor vincit omnia. It means love conquers all. This is a painting by the Italian artist Caravaggio. The phrase appears in Geoffrey Chaucer's most famous work, The Canterbury Tales. So, actually, it is a painting by Italian artist Caravaggio. Chaucer used this phrase in Canterbury Tales. The phrase is used about the Paris Madame Eglantine. Again, the phrase is available in Virgil's Eclogues. The full form is Omnia vincit amor et nos sidamus amori. Love conquers all. Let us too surrender to love. 30. Chaucer is earliest of the great moderns. It is told by Arnold. So you can make a list in this way. That famous person and their quotes. 31. Chaucer translated Boethius's Consolation of Philosophy as Bosie. And Boethius was a Roman philosopher. We have already read about Boethius in Anglo-Saxon poetry. In the time of Anglo-Saxon Anglo-Saxon literature, we read about Boethius in Anglo-Saxon prose. Boethius was a Roman philosopher, logician, who emphasized the importance of Greek philosophy. Now 32. All good things must come to an end. This phrase appears in Chaucer's Troilus and Cressida. 33. Matthew Arnold kept Chaucer's The Canterbury Tale in his famous touchstone method. So Matthew Arnold told that Chaucer lacks high seriousness. But this Matthew Arnold also kept the Canterbury Tales in his touchstone method. So this is the contradiction. 34. Chaucer introduced a stanza form that is 7 lines long and uses the rhyme scheme ABABBCC. It is also called rhyme royal. It was first used in Chaucer's long poem Troilus and Cressida, and then later in Parliament of Fowls. So in these two works of Chaucer, the rhyme scheme is used. 35. Caxton printing press was invented in England 1476. And 36. Thomas Malory's La Motte d'Arthur was published by William Caxton in 1485. And 1485 is significant for another reason. The end of the War of Roses. And 37, it is blank. I just kept it unfinished, not touched at all. If you have any information, then you can put here in number 37, or you can progress more. Okay, with this we complete our Chaucer, our journey with Chaucer. In our next video, we'll start about the after Chaucer period. Thank you.